An entrepreneur is someone, do we know what the real definition is? I'm an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur is someone who starts a business from the ground up with their blood, sweat, tears, equity, and turns it into, hopefully, a successful venture.
An entrepreneur is someone who is trying to do something on their own. No boss, they're taking their idea and they're putting it out into the world and they're doing everything they can to make it successful.
It's a trending word.
An entrepreneur is a business person or someone that is seeking to earn a living through a means that they create and control their own destiny for.
An entrepreneur is somebody that is a problem solver, a business owner, usually somebody who's innovative, willing to take risk, usually willing to bet everything on their own success.
An entrepreneur is a person who is creative and resourceful and who views obstacles as something to be overcome rather than a stopping block. An entrepreneur is someone who inspires me and someone who believes that they can create, whether it's creating an amazing product or a service or a program. I don't really care what it is. An entrepreneur is fundamentally just a passionate, amazing person that I respect and admire.
An entrepreneur is a person that has their own vision and doesn't fit inside of a corporate box, and they will stop at nothing to see their vision through.
An entrepreneur, in my mind, I know this isn't Webster's definition, but an entrepreneur is someone that creates something out of nothing. I don't think that's every single time, but that's what it is. It's creating process where there wasn't process. It's creating a product where there wasn't one. It's creating business where there wasn't one. An entrepreneur can create an opportunity out of nothing a lot of times, and people think of them as fearless, but I don't believe that's true. I think entrepreneurs are scared of all types of stuff and deal with more fear than other people. They just fear not trying at all, or they fear that job that they hate more so than they fear, the risk of losing money or looking like a failure to others. So I think an entrepreneur is, at the heart of anyone trying to create something, trying to build something. In a business sense, it's someone that is operating a business that maybe didn't exist before they came.
I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. My father was an entrepreneur. He actually had a liquor store. It was Steppy's Liquor. And I grew up in the back of the liquor store, helping my dad around the store. And just being your own boss has always been something that I've wanted to do. I did step away, or didn't start out my career as an entrepreneur, though. I actually went to college, got a degree, and went and worked in corporate America for 6 years, and woke up one day and I was completely miserable and thought to myself, you've always wanted to do this, why don't you just go do it?
I don't think that I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always wanted freedom and choice, whether it's financial freedom. When I was in a band, it was just the ability to travel and geographical freedom. I quickly learned that financial freedom is better than that because it can give you travel and give you a whole bunch of other things. It can give you choice. So for me, when I learned that, entrepreneurship, if that's what we're going to call it, could give me freedom, could give me choice at a level that I didn't really know, I went all in.
I don't know I don't know that I remember a time when I didn't want to be an entrepreneur in some way. I can go back to grade school and, selling friendship bracelets or having lemonade stands. I've always had some kind of side hustle in my life. And so I think I've always been an entrepreneur. I don't think it's a realization that I really came to.
I would say I started being an entrepreneur when I was probably 5 years old, working with my dad at flea markets, finding things to buy that we could sell and make a profit at. But, professionally, I didn't really become an entrepreneur until I was 22, 23 years old, and was always working on a side hustle, a side project, and always looking for opportunities, always wanted to do something. And then one day the opportunity came along and just jumped at the opportunity, and here we go, 17 years later.
I can't remember a time when I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Even from a very early age. I mean, I'm talking like as early as I can remember, I was always doing enterprising things, lemonade stands. My parents had a house that had backed up to a golf course, and we would go find golf balls in the ponds and the streams and take them up to the tee boxes and sell them to the golfers. Later, I started a business when I was probably 12 years old where we painted the numbers on people's curbs. It just went on and on and on. I really, and quite honestly, cannot remember a time when I didn't want to be an entrepreneur.
I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur, to be honest. I always considered myself more of just a product designer. As I kept moving forward, yeah, I don't know if I still consider myself an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner, and I have a product that I'm trying to push out into the world. So I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I actually wanted to be a professor of graphic design.
Most people know they want to be an entrepreneur from a young age. You know, they've done lemonade stands and car washes and things of that nature, but that is not my story. My husband is my driving factor for entrepreneurship. When I met him, I was working in a corporate salon. I was very unhappy. I was in school, going back to school for dietetics to try to get into medical school. I was doing all of these things that I thought made me feel successful, but I quickly learned that that was not the case. Insert meeting my husband. This man is a visionary. He sees things so much differently than I ever did, and he really opened me up to this world of being my own boss, taking control of my life and not putting my happiness in the hands of an executive of a company I've never met.